Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. This is Birds of a Feather Podcast. It's your boy Q City.
Your boy Taj Bravado.
And this is episode 75, First with Five, part 2. So, if y'all remember First with Five last year, we were in a very different place with 5 wins sitting atop the division. First off, it was later in the season. But this time, we first with 5 wins in the division. It's week 8, very early in the season. Took a commanding lead over the Bucks. We're gonna get into what all happened in that Bucks game, what to look forward to versus Dallas next week, and then what's going on in the division and how does this relate to the playoff race as a whole. We starting to hit that time of the season, so come along with us, come kick it, right? So, Taj, my man, 31-26 win versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? We talked about it in our live right after the game, man. But ultimately, this was a big win for the franchise. It was a great look for our offense, man. Like,
oh yeah,
they really came. They put their foot on their throat. They did everything they were supposed to. Koo had a real bad miss late. You know what I'm saying? We'll get into that. Koo had a real bad miss late, but offensively,
tighten up, Koo.
Offensively, Kirk has dominated the Bucks this year. In the past 3 weeks, we faced him twice. He's gone for almost 800 yards in 8 touchdowns and no picks?
8 touchdowns, 1 pick.
1 pick. Just dominant. Tell me what you liked about the offense this game.
I like that when you take one thing away, i.e. Drake London, you get burned by other things. It's like, all right, we're going to bracket Drake London. All right, Kyle Pitts going to hit you over the head for 90 and 2 touchdowns.
And he definitely did his thing this game. Now, we harped on it a little bit after the game, but bro, and then I'm glad they discussed it. They didn't discuss it. They said it's an internal, they handled it in-house. It's an internal or whatever.
All Raheem said was, I remember watching the person. They were like, so what did you say to Kyle Pitts? He said, that's none of your business.
Yeah.
With a smile. I'm like,
handled it internally. You know what I'm saying? I get that. But that was one of the most brain dead moments I think I've ever seen. I love the fact that he was like, they kept him out of series. Yeah, they probably chewed his ass out, you know what I'm saying, and let him get back out there and do his thing for the rest of the game.
Because the thing is it's easy to forget that player did it like Deshaun Jackson did it versus the Eagles where he got the ball before he crossed the goal line.
Yeah, Deshaun Jackson did it twice.
Like it happens. As long as it don't happen again, that's where the issue comes.
Yeah.
Because look, Kyle Pitts, this is his first multi-touchdown game since college. Back when we called him a generational prospect. And he's starting to look a lot like that guy again.
That's crazy that you said that. So, yeah, that's one of the little nugget stats I was about to bring in. This is first 2 touchdown game in the league. That sounds crazy when you say it out loud. But, Kyle does not get in the end zone like that.
But I think that they're kind of using him similar to how he was used in college. Is not the primary option, but he's a secondary option. Maybe not in receptions because Mooney's the number 2, but it's in terms of being a tight end. He's getting those looks to where he don't have to be the focus of the offense.
And they're using him in line a lot.
Yes, using them in line and you're able to take advantage of those matchups versus the safeties and linebackers, the people who typically can't guard him. Yeah, it's cool to throw him out wide every now and then, but he needs to do the most of his eating inside.
And you want to know what's crazy? A tight end that doesn't have Kyle Pitts' exact similar body style or whatnot, but was seen as an athletic anomaly and kind of a freak mismatch, is now being underused under an Arthur Smith offense in Darnell Washington, right?
He wasn't really used last year, so
I did, and a lot of people was like, why you ain't getting the ball or whatnot? And I was like, boy, this is part and parcel for dude. All right, this is part and parcel for what I've seen out of this sort of offense. You know what I'm saying? The players that I've seen. and Arthur Smith's offense. And I ain't gonna harp too much on last year because last year is
Look,
last year. It's just
this
really
is
refreshing to see him be used in the way he's being used
okay. This is this is probably the last thing I'm gonna say about Arthur Smith today,
now.
at least right now. We've seen Arthur Smith feature tight ends, but you also got to realize in the offense, because like Kyle Pitts had his first 1,000 yard season under Smith, but you also got to factor in who's throwing the ball to Darnell in this new offense. You got two quarterbacks who historically do not like to throw in the middle of the field, so naturally tight ends are gonna take the hit because that's where they do the majority of their eating.
That is true. That is true. Both of his one of his plays came on like a deep crosser on 4th down. And it looked like when I was watching it back, that Pitts was actually like you said, second option on that play. He was not the safe route. It just seemed like coming across, Ray was actually the first key on that play and just got like taken away. Like it was a 4th down. The linebacker who looked like he was supposed to be coming dropped back, and Kirk was like, well, I guess I gotta take the Jeep shot.
You talking about the second one?
On the first one. On the second one, it was he started on the right side. He was coming across the field. He just got behind the defense, and then he outran him. Like
the thing is, like he wasn't even behind the whole defense. That's the crazy part.
He's splitting him. He's splitting him, bro.
Because that's the Kyle Pitts that I was waiting for. Like that's what I was seeing because I'm like, all right, because he has easy speed. Like he shouldn't have got caught, but he got caught because we already discussed that. We know why he got caught.
Yeah, but you was kind of showboating a little bit.
Yeah, but that goes
getting toward the end zone.
Yeah, but it goes back to my previous point of like that happened because that confidence is swelling up now.
I got the swagger back.
Yeah, like the swag. Like he's feeling himself down. He feels like, okay, cool. This is what Florida felt like. I like this.
Yeah, man.
It
is.
I'm getting my catches. I'm getting my yards. Like he's third in tight end yards. He's third in yards, third in catches. Like
yeah, because Bowers is doing crazy shit. So like you can't even. Really...
It's not even Bowers just doing crazy shit. Bowers just gets volume that he's gonna get. That's it.
Yeah, he's the only. He looked like he the only option for that Raiders offense, bro.
Because the thing is like Bowers probably got at least like 20 more catches, but he probably got like 80 more yards.
Yeah, but it's because like Bowers, it seems like he's the only option for that offense at this point in time. So
I mean, yeah.
You're getting, yeah, boy, you getting everything.
He has the volume, but in terms of per catch, I think Pitts is like top 10 in everyone, tight ends and receivers included in per catch with like 14.8, I think. Like he's explosive. To put that in perspective, him and Ray McCloud got the same amount of catches, and Pitts has 200 more yards.
Yeah, that sound about right. That sound about right. He's that deep threat tight end. He's not really, to be honest, your possession guy has been Drake for the most part.
Yeah, well, that's what Drake projects as. Pitts is he's the guy that you, and I've been saying this. People said I was crazy, but Pitts is someone you could stretch the field with from the middle.
Yeah, you could force those safeties. You could force those safeties into very simplistic coverages if you got a guy streaking up the middle of the field. Yeah. Like, hey, now all of a sudden I can't really roll this cover 3 one way or the other. I gotta stay base.
But I think the real hero of this offense, I mean, obviously Kirk's doing this thing, but I'm going to give it to Zach Robinson. And look, he's figuring out how to use his weapons, when to use his weapons. Still calling a tad too many screens for my liking, but it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So we didn't get into that. We didn't get
everyone.
Into that.
Yeah, but everyone does it. So it's like because the thing is you could talk about how bad the screen is, but Tampa did went on us 3rd and 15 and got it. So
okay, so I wanted to get into the goods before we get into the bad. Offensively, I feel like we did a lot of good. Right, want to stay positive there. I love the fact that we were able to convert a lot of our 3rd downs. We didn't punt. We didn't punt too many times this game. I I love the fact that we look like we're running a mature offense. That's the thing. That's the thing. And I understand Zach Robinson had never called plays before, right? But what was one of my pushbacks early, looking at the film after the Pittsburgh game and then after the Eagles game? We're running an immature offense. We're running an offense whose concepts don't seem to match either our personnel or paint a clear vision of what our offense needs to look like.
The concepts ain't changed.
This is what I was saying. This just based upon concepts ain't changed, but your blocking schemes and your personnel and how you called and mapped the plays out has changed.
The blocking schemes are the same.
No.
The block.
You do not have Ray.
Okay, hold on. That's okay. That's a play. The scheme's the same. You're singling out one play. That's not the scheme.
I'm not just singling out this, bro. We can bring it.
No. You're talking about because what you're calling out is not a good idea to have Ray coming in motion. They're just using Drake London for it now.
That's better.
But it's the same scheme. Nothing's changed in terms of the.
No, your personnel has changed. Your personnel has.
No, the personnel didn't change. They just said, all right, you know what, Drake might be better. The personnel's the same. They're still on the field. They're just like, all right, Drake might be better for this. You didn't take them off the field. The personnel is still the same.
You're literally still out there splitting hairs right now. When I'm saying the fact that you are calling better plays,
but that's not what I was talking about.
In better position.
That's not even what I was talking about. The blocking scheme is still the same.
Okay.
It didn't change.
Taj, you got it. It's going to be one of those things y'all figure out I'm right later. I'm not even going to argue with Taj right now.
The blocking scheme didn't change.
The point is, I'm trying to get a man kudos. Yeah. The point is, right?
I just want you to get the kudos correct. That's all.
The point is, Buddy came through, right? The offense looks more mature. The offense looks like he understands his personnel better. How about that? The offense looks like he understands his personnel better.
I agree with that, yeah.
And with that, he's been able to create explosive plays. Now, grain of salt. Tampa's defense might be dog poo. Possibly. I went and looked it up. They are allowing a bunch of air yards. Their rushing defense, way up there. We're going to get into that into ATL. I got some sauce for you about some of my hotter takes at the beginning of the year and how they coming through. Y'all tune in to ATL to listen to that. But
you better not be talking about that one.
Oh, I am, and got shit to back it up. and got shit to back it up. But we'll get into it. Where was I? Yeah, Tampa's run defense. Okay, might be statistically pretty good. Their pass defense, bro, they are letting it up this year to almost everyone.
Well,
and granted,
that's what happens when you blitz and your corners end up the park.
Yeah, man, and so you got to take it with a grain of salt that two of these big explosion weeks, two out of three of them came against a Tampa defense. Now, the one week where you had a quote unquote bad offensive showing, which we both kind of just said, we didn't record last week. Everybody was under the weather. Maybe it was that McDonald's Ebola. I don't know. Either way. We didn't get a chance to talk about it, but I think we both agreed in the after game live that it just wasn't their day. You know what I'm saying? The defense kind of gave up a little too much and the offense couldn't counteract. You got put in bad situations. So you got to take it with a grain of salt, but overall, the past 4 weeks of him calling offense have looked great. And I really, of course, on third down, I would, like you said, love to get away from some of those screens.
Well, the caveat with that is a lot of times it's just distance, and you just want to call a safe play just to get it quick. Yeah, if you hit, you hit.
And you got to take it. You got to take that, right? You got to take
it because Tampa did the same thing except they hit.
No, not always. So
no, not always. But I'm saying that's the caveat with the screens. It's only a bad play if it don't work.
Let's get into some of the things that weren't the best from this game, right? So I was left at the after game live, the initial reaction, the Twitter reaction. I was left feeling like we did not play a good defensive game. After watching the all 22, we played a very bad defensive game that we got bailed out multiple times by superstar players making superstar plays.
Yeah.
So Jesse Bates comes in first play, one of the first plays of the game, might have been second, third play, punches the ball out, right? Okay, bam. We get that. We don't waste that possession, convert on fourth down, get 7 points. You look at the very next drive they went down and scored, right? They converted on that drive, they converted on 2 first downs. The next drive they scored, they converted on 3 first downs.
Third down to first downs.
Huh?
Third down to first downs.
Yeah, third downs. They converted on 3 third downs. My fault. They converted on 3 third downs. One of those third downs was a 3rd and 17. So I remember me and you talked about this. I'm not sure if it was on the live or we were texting or just chopping shit. A sack is a drive killer. A holding call or a unnecessary roughness is usually a drive killer, right? So like when you average out all the weird nerdy numbers, it's like you usually when you get the ball have like a 30 or 40% chance somewhere in there to score, right? If you just like get the ball on the kickoff 25-yard line, you got like a 30, 40% chance to score, right? 40% for a field goal, like 30-something for a touchdown. If anywhere on that drive, no matter what down, you get a sack or you get holding or like penalty or anything like that, it lowers it by anywhere from 50 to 80%. Tampa had holding calls. Tampa had unnecessary roughness calls. They had hands to the face calls. Tampa has we didn't sack them. Lord knows we didn't sack them, but they had negative runs, which factors into that as well when you get into the meat of the things. And they still were able to convert scoring drives, or at the very least, play the field position game against because of how our defense was set up. We multiple times had them behind the sticks. That term refers to anything over 10 yards after first down. We had them behind the sticks consistently. In second down, they would get anywhere from 6 to 8 yards and then convert on third down. Now, grain of salt, they are leading at 52% on third downs, right? So they convert third downs at a really high rate, a historic rate that doesn't seem like it's going to last over the course of the season. I get that, right? But the way our defense was giving it up really made me, it made me sick, bro. AJ had a superstar play. Jesse had 2 superstar plays, right? That saved us because our overall defensive game, it wasn't not good. It was bad.
It was prom night.
Oh, just giving it up. Yeah, man. I was going back and look at it, bro. I was damn near disgusted, bro. I was damn near disgusted. The amount of pressure we do not get is crazy to me with the personnel that we have.
Yeah, speaking of personnel, outside of Grady and Ebiketie, they bums.
Hey, man, Judon ain't come to do nothing but
that's what I'm saying.
wear red sleeves.
Judon ain't did nothing since week 2.
Judon ain't come for nothing but red sleeves, bro.
Because it's like, what I've noticed about Judon is he has absolutely no hustle.
No, when he's out to play, he's out to play. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Here's the crazy part. They run to his side.
He's to get blocked.
It's over, bro. It's over. Hey, look, man.
He's not fighting. He's just like, all right.
Hey, cool.
But the thing is, he ain't doing nothing but hurting his own pockets.
So
he went from wanting a contract in New England to he probably going to trending toward veteran minimum.
So Judon, I wouldn't say it's an effort or hustle thing. I just think that like for him, he gets taken out of plays too easily, and that is extremely noticeable on film.
That's effort and hustle.
Hey, look,
Nah, call a spade a spade.
He gets
We
taken
ain't
out. He gets taken out.
we ain't sugarcoating nothing.
He gets taken out of plays consistently, bro. Then you look at somebody I'm really, really high on. Zach Harrison. I see why. Looking back, I see why they don't let you on the field, bro. He looked lost. He looked lost on film, bro. I'm sitting here like, where are you going? Where are you? So there was one play that really stuck out to me where they were running. It was like 2nd and 14, 15 or something. They were running stunt, right? Grady goes to loop all the way around. Zach is supposed to crash inside. It's a very simple B-gap stunt, right? He's supposed to crash inside. I don't know if he forgot, he loses. He comes on the outside as well, creates a perfect pocket for Baker. Baker runs up for 6 yards and slides. You weren't blocked into that. You took the wrong assignment, bro.
Well, okay, so when it comes to things like that, I don't really like to jump to assumptions because we don't know what the call was. We don't know if that was the called play or if they were ad-libbing. Because sometimes stunts is a field thing. When you got two players with good chemistry, they were like, "Hey, I'm gonna do this, you do that," and be like, "All right, cool, I got you." Maybe there was a miscommunication. Maybe he wasn't lost. It was just simply it could have been a miscommunication. Those things happen a lot. So I'm not gonna sit here and assume that he was lost. I'm just gonna chalk it up to a miscommunication because a lot of times stunts are just it's like, hey man, we're gonna run this 2-man game. Like when you got two people with good chemistry, that those type of things happen.
Do you think he has enough?
Hold on.
He has enough.
Hold on. Now, if he was on the field more, he could probably get a feel for that more. Like, because this is like, all right, this dude, because Grady plays the most out of everybody.
Yeah.
Period. So Grady's constantly having to shift things. Like he probably like, well, dang, somebody else in here, so let me run this like someone else, and it's just like it's not working. So like Zach might have just came into the game after sitting down for 2 drives or however many drives, and Grady like, hey man, we about to woo woo. What the hell you mean by woo? What does that mean?
What's woo woo? What's woo woo?
Yeah, because it's a field thing. Because it's like sometimes the D line thing, it's like a running back thing. Like a lot of running backs can't get going off of one carry. They need the ball over and over and over again to feel alive. Like Zach Harris is only getting like 15 snaps a game.
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. Not impressive. Well, I don't think he got 15 snaps. And when I was looking, I think a majority of the time he was on the field, he got run plays. Some were away to him, so it wasn't an effort thing because he did flash, and some were toward him. He got off blocks. Like that's not really an issue for me. My issue came in his pass rush snaps. Now, granted, I think it was only like I want to say 5. It might have been 6, but it was only like 5 that I saw. But that one really, really stuck out because of how it stuck out like a sore thumb. Like, bro, where are you going? Where are you going?
It's probably just a miscommunication. Like because clearly with the way this team defends the run, there's clearly an abundance of miscommunication.
Man, the crazy part is, if you look at the stats wise, we got a decent number of tackles for loss in the run game.
Yeah, but the thing is we get a tackle for loss and then we just get a pussy up the next play.
Just give up 9 yards. We tackle you behind the line for 2 and then give up a 9-yard run. Bro, where we at? What we doing? What are we doing?
Now, this is what I will say. This defense misses Troy in his athleticism.
Boy.
Because his athleticism is the ultimate neutralizer for a lot of these running backs because of how quickly he can get there.
I ain't here to bag on no player, call for no man job.
Landman is not a starter.
Boy, he's an NFL player, and he is a good NFL player. He is not a starter. He is not a starter. He may be a starter. He's not a starter for this defense. And
no, he may be a starter in the East.
Just for this defense, for what they're asking the linebackers to do.
This era.
Yeah, for what they're asking the linebackers to do, he does not fit it. He does, and it is clearly evident that he does not fit it. Right? He's the, I hate to use the term weak link because like you in the NFL.
But the thing is, it's not even just him. Kaden Ellis been trash too.
Kaden Ellis, man, yo.
And I'm a Kaden fan, but man, last week he pissed me off versus the Seahawks when he was just standing there in quicksand watching Geno run.
Kaden is good for pass rush, bro. That's about.
No, he's good for blitzing. I'm not even going because you can't really throw him on the edge. You got to blitz him from the gap.
Exactly, that's a fact. So like he's good in a blitz situation, but if you only put him on the field in that situation, you tell in your hand.
Yeah, because but he needs to be out there over what's called. But see, this probably isn't as high up on the priority list to fans as it should be. We need another linebacker next to Troy. Another athletic linebacker next to Troy.
But who?
Bertrand could get up there to some point. I think Bertrand is a better option than maybe Landman. He just ain't got the experience.
JD?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we do need another athletic linebacker on this defense.
Who's letting that go for how much and within 5 days?
It could be in the draft. We ain't getting it. We definitely ain't getting it.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's getting before the trade deadline, and
I don't think they're gonna add anything. This like, they might add an edge rusher, but even then, I think they're gonna be just chilling until the end of the season. They're just gonna stay in here and just hope that they can figure this out. But
all right, last thing before we go on to Dallas. Damn, we really didn't even get into Bijan looking good. Bijan did look good.
I mean, it's Bijan.
Yeah, Bijan did look good.
Hey! Surprise, guys! Bijan played good.
Shocking news, my nigga. If your girlfriend goes to any season opening basketball,
crazy word.
Yeah. But anyway, before we get on to Dallas, just last thing, bro. Is it time to be worried about Coop? Me personally, I say no. He went through a little stretch last year where he had like the misses, but it did kind of suck that he couldn't convert that late in the game. That really.
You said the wind got it.
It looked like the wind got it rather than he pulled it, because like it looked like
it knuckled out. So
yeah. So I was like, it might have been. He caught a case of like the last year. He is not going to be an all-pro kicker this year. My boy in Dallas and my boy in where he at? Dallas and it might just be boy in Dallas. He gonna be all pro this year. He going bananas. Might not be Pro Bowl. Because if boy in Dallas get it and Dallas ain't going to the Super Bowl, that might be it for you. Butker's having a decent year too on the AFC side, so maybe there, but Koo ain't gonna be an All Pro this year. Fuck around, he might not be a Pro Bowler. He keep messing around like this.
No, he ain't. He not missed too many kicks already. He missed like what 3, 4.
He's at 3. He missed 3. He missed 3 this year. Yeah, but I still trust him as a decent.
I trust him. Yeah, I think he'll get it right.
And something that we're going to talk about in the division is that like he was kicking outside on grass in elements. Depending on how things shape up this year and what the Falcons' path might be, he may not have to kick outside up until the Super Bowl. So we'll get into that. Going on. Yeah, we're going to talk about it next week. Next week versus Dallas. So, getting into next week versus Dallas. Dallas just came off getting their ass handed to them by the 49ers. Per usual. That ain't nothing different.
It was a 4-point game.
It was a 4-point game because Dak had some garbage time yards, bro. Did you watch? I know you watched it.
Yes, I watched the game.
They scored like 20, what was it, 24 straight? 27 straight?
It was 30 to 20. That ain't garbage time. It's still a competitive game. They had to lock in.
Nah, bro. It's the same thing with the Ravens game. It was the same thing with the Ravens game. where it's like Dallas came back, got an onside. They get an onside kick in this game, but like they threw the ball late, scored some stuff late, and everybody like, oh, Cowboys brought it close. Like, nah, bro, like they got dominated. A whole prime example. Look at the Falcons and Bucks game. Do you feel like the Falcons didn't dominate that game on the offensive end?
On the offensive, defense, no.
On defensive end, no. But like on the offensive end, they dominated that game.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like it was the same thing versus the 49ers. The 49ers ran all over Dallas' defense.
But see, the thing is, I'm not going to call any of them garbage time minutes because they was a good mistake away from losing.
Nah. It didn't seem like the 49ers were in any danger of losing that game. After they went on their run between the second and third, it was over.
Look, a team to go on a 21-point run, you can't really call it an ass whooping.
But after a 27-point run,
and then they turned around and they responded with a 21-point run. Is that really an ass whooping?
What kind of defense ain't you the one that said what kind of defense we playing at that point?
A 21-point run?
After giving up a 27-point run, we're talking
bro, see, I could understand that this is only the fourth quarter, but it was the second half. The whole second half is the garbage time.
When did that start? The middle of the third quarter?
The second half. The whole second half is not garbage time. I can understand if you lighten up like maybe like 8 minutes in the fourth. In the third quarter, that's still a lot of football left.
You got it. They lost versus the 49ers.
Yeah.
As usual, because they continue to lose versus the 49ers. Dak threw, was it 3 picks? 2 of them, 3 of them, turnovers. Every time. That
gets some bad luck, though.
Man, you be making, I'm telling you, bro.
I'm not making excuses. He still threw the pick, but he just gets some bad luck. Same thing with Baker Mayfield. Those are some unlucky quarterbacks sometimes.
Is it unlucky or are you putting the ball in risky situations?
Nah, because sometimes the receiver just dropped the ball.
All right.
Like, what do you expect him to do if the ball goes through the receiver hand right to the defender? Is that his fault?
I can't. Yeah, you're right. Those happen. Kirk has had one this year.
Yeah.
What about the other two? The one threw in the double.
I'm not excusing all of them. I'm just saying. I'm not speaking just purely on this game. I'm saying just in general on the whole umbrella. He gets some bad luck because like that can make a good throw and it gets dropped and it gets overshadowed because of the other shit.
Part of the other shit is the fact that Dallas can't really run the ball.
They can't run the ball and they don't really have anyone besides CD.
And so y'all can't really run the ball. We can't really stop the run. Something's got to give this week. You know what I'm saying? Something's got to give this week. And hopefully it is our ability to stop the run. They got Zeke back there.
Man, Zeke about to look like prime Zeke. What you talking about?
Boy, they got Zeke and the ghost of Dalvin Cook back there. If those two tear us up for more than 80 yards, Jimmy Lake, we got to have a serious conversation, dog. We got to sit down and have a serious conversation.
Now, part of me wants to blame Jimmy Lake, but part of me wants to have a conversation with Jay Rogers, the D-line coach. Because what are you coaching to where these dudes are not getting off the line? Or I want to talk to Barrett Rude, the inside linebacker coach. What are you coaching your linebackers to do? Because if it ain't Troy, they look lost.
Yeah, it ain't gap fill. I promise it ain't gap fill.
Because like, I think maybe we might be a little too hard on Jimmy Lake, given he is the coordinator, so he's going to get all the blame and all the praise. But you got to sometimes look at the positional groups to see what's really going on. Because like Jay Rogers, what are you seeing with these rotations? I have questions for them more so Jimmy, because Jimmy wants to play with light boxes, and I'm assuming that these people have these jobs because they could, do these jobs and still maintain a light box.
Mm-hmm.
But they're proving very inept.
I think what was it? The second game of the season? No, it was the third because it wasn't the Eagles game. It was the third game of the season, and I was sounding the alarm because I was like, Bates was the leading tackler.
Well, he led the team in tackles last year.
Yeah.
But the team was a lot better last year too.
It was a lot better at the run last year, but I was like, he is run filling way too much this year.
He did it last year. He led our team in tackles with 136 tackles.
Yeah, that's
you weren't gonna call our run defense bad last year because it was good.
It was better. It was better last year.
Look, that's just who Jesse Bates is.
It was better last year, but bro, he's coming into the box. I was in week 3. I was saying like, why is he down there this much? Why?
He was down there last year. It's the same shit. He was down there last year. He led our team in tackles last year, and he's leading it this year. Nothing's changed on that front.
Yeah.
He's a player that sees it before it happens, so he reacts quickly.
And hopefully that's all it is. But it's prefaced by the fact that it's more noticeable because our run defense is bad.
You probably just hyper focusing on it just because it's the same. He's doing the same stuff.
Yeah, the tism kicking in, bro. I am hyper focused on a lot of shit, bro. I be looking at it like, that's
like Jesse doing the same stuff he been doing. That ain't changed.
But getting back to Dallas because we are getting off topic as usual, and I blame you this time. Getting back to Dallas, right? Their coaching staff doesn't have anybody that really sticks out outside of Al Harris in the secondary, right? They say he got like 16 years experience. I don't remember too many other coaching staff that he's been on, but he was a great player. So, you remember any Al Harris? I remember him for the Packers. No, I don't remember any coaching staff he's been on.
I'm thinking about the defensive coordinator Zimmer.
Mm-hmm.
I know Kirk Cousins has a lot of familiar. I want to say Kirk was there with him when they beat the Saints in that playoff game.
Yep. So Zimmer was the head coach of the Vikings.
Yeah, and I want to say Kirk kind of torches those style of defense. I mean, that defense is essentially in the same style of Tampa Bay. They're very blitz heavy.
So Kirk is one of the best this year against the blitz.
Yeah, he's the best. I think I want to say he's the best, or at least top 5 versus the blitz this year. Like he's been absolutely torching people to blitz him. Like he ain't been sacked, which is kind of amazing for someone who's a statue.
Well, the broadcast brought it out, and then like you see it on film as well, and it might just be a byproduct of being 14 years in the league now, 13, 14 years in the league. Kirk has all the answers. And if his body can work, he's gonna get to the answer. And like when I was talking about the 4th down play, his answer on the play was Ray McCloud to get the first down and continue with the drive. Ray, the linebacker, it looked like he was supposed to blitz. He was right on the line. To my eye, it looked like he was supposed to blitz. He dropped back. Maybe that was just a field thing from the linebacker there. So Kirk holds an extra second. Kyle Pitts flashes open deep. He lets it go. Touchdown. Right? But like Kirk has the answers. So it makes sense in a blitzing situation. If you don't get home immediately, he's going to pick you apart. And that's a refreshing thing to see to see from a quarterback because Ritter just used to melt down. You know what I'm saying? And we're not gonna keep going back over that. But I think the familiarity with Zimmer can work both ways. For Kirk, this was a defense you practiced against for years. You may understand where the weaknesses lie. For Zimmer, this is a quarterback you coached for years. You should be able to see, what his weaknesses are. I think that's
he knows the weaknesses, but he don't know it's the weapons he got to deal with.
This is true. I think DaRon Bland is still out. For right now, Micah's still out. For right now, DeMarcus is still out.
Yeah, and I know Micah is dealing with an ankle injury or
high ankle sprain.
I know he did not practice at all last week, and that's really kind of bodes well for us because typically you don't go from not practicing to practicing and playing in the same week.
Yeah, because my thing is, even if he does play, he'd be on a severe snap count. Severe
Yeah,
stretch.
and like you're gonna on rundowns, like
Yeah. DeMarcus ain't playing. Deron Bland's out. Trayvon's out there basically by himself. He can only guard one person. Uh,
I mean, but is he really guarding?
I mean, me and you both called it, bro. Like you a pick artist. You know what I'm saying? You got the badge. You a pick
Yeah,
artist.
you not a coverage guy. You a pick specialist. That's it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You're
You
gonna go for picks you probably shouldn't, and you're gonna get burned a couple times. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You like those type of guys on your team. Sometimes it burns you. I think having a technically sound corner on the other side is really helpful, right? And like that looked like what Deron Bland was, or it could have just
know
been.
they the same shit.
That's what I'm
They the
saying. It
same.
could have just been the system they were both in last year allowed them to
Well,
really key
because
off.
Diggs was out for the year last year, so Blaine ended up taking off when he was out.
Yeah. System you were in just allows you to eyes on the quarterback, break on balls.
But they're
Cool.
not even in there. But they're no longer in that system. I think they're playing more man in this system. I believe.
Yeah, and they getting lit up. They're getting lit up a little bit. They allowed a lot of passing yards to tight ends. Wouldn't be opposed to Kyle Pitts having a real good game. Um, but overall, I think that this is and Dallas fans are going to be all in the mentions on it. I actually think this is another game that Dallas gets dominated. I feel like Mike McCarthy is on the hot seat. We talked about it in our pods with Orange that like around week 9, 10 was when things were going to hit the fan for him to be fired. Um, I would not be surprised is if you tune in this game late, you see 27-10, 27-3 with like 7-8 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I expect this game to be ruled by Bijan and Tyler. Given that I think in the past, but I think they've given like over 200 yards 4 times this year.
Mm-hmm. On the ground? Yes, sir.
So yeah, I expect Bijan and Algier to eat.
And I think because they have Zimmer on staff, if they were to go ahead and let McCarthy go, he'd be the next option.
Intern or well, maybe. You never know with these things.
Yeah, Jerry does his own thing. Jerry does his own thing.
Yeah.
But I think everybody is going to be really pleased on seeing the outcome of this game because I do think the Falcons go ahead and the Falcons beat the Cowboys pretty soundly.
Given we just gave up 330 to Baker, which pretty much beat our high by like 100 yards. I'm a little scared of that because Dak, outside of Mahomes, is probably the best quarterback we've done seen.
The only like slight pushback I'll give there is the fact that Baker was playing from behind, right? A good bit of the time. We were in a bit of a soft zone. We had a decent command of that game. It was 31-19 very late into that game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was able to pick up yards. So like he's picking up yards playing against soft zones because we put 24 up in the first half, 31 by mid third quarter. So like they're down by 3 scores. They're gonna throw the ball, right? Whereas in our more tightly contested games, we were getting off the field pretty regularly, playing the field position game because we were mixing up the man and zone concepts, playing real rugged defense. I'm not overly worried about that. I think the passing totals for Dak are going to look gargantuan this week, but it's going to be very much of the same from what we saw from Baker, where we have a pretty substantial lead and you're throwing against very soft.
I know AJ definitely has his hands full this week. But I think this is a matchup that actually probably favors him because I don't think he really struggles for this style of receiver.
Oh, yeah. I told you about DK Metcalf.
The last time they played, he locked him up, though.
You know what? We're going to talk in circles about this one. Moving on to individual.
I'm just look, no, but I'm just saying, like, I was using the example that literally last time, but before this game, He held him to one catch for 6 yards. So it's completely logical for me to think, oh, he can do it again because he did it before. So it's not
Every
logical
now
to
and
think
then
someone.
every now and then you gonna realize I be knowing what I'm talking about. Every now and then.
No, but it's like everyone completely forgets that AJ locked him the fuck up the last time they played. It took a trick play and then a busted coverage for him to get off on.
The busted coverage. I don't even really put that one on AJ, but we're rehashing.
Yeah, it went on AJ.
Yeah, we're rehashing the Saints game. We got to move on to in division because we're not staying in time at all. At all. All right. So in division, right now leading the top of the division, first with 5. Obviously, name of this week's pod, first with 5. So we're sitting at 5-3 right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is comparable to the rest of the NFC. Before we get into the rest of the NFC, we're 5-3. Just beat the Bucs next versus Dallas. The Bucs, they're sitting at 4-4. Their next game is versus the Chiefs, right? Hopefully that should be a loss. The Saints and the Panthers, 2-6, 1-7, both coming off losses. They face each other next week, right? So like the actual best thing to root for in that game, not just because like fuck the Saints, but the best thing to root for in that game is a Panthers win, right? So like
to let about to get swatted down.
To let them cannibalize each other, absolutely just amazing. Does that mean Shador's in our division next year? Possibly, but like we cross that bridge when we get there.
Hey, his daddy ain't letting him go there. Neither one of them teams.
No, not to the Saints. I mean, not to the Panthers, but I think he let him go to the Saints. I think he let him go to the Saints.
He's not letting that man go to New Orleans.
Nah, because what's his name ain't gonna be there.
He's not letting him go. I'm telling
you. Yeah, but we can get into that. So right now, everybody in the division lost outside of us last week. We have a 1-game lead on the Bucs right now. This is exactly where you want to be through 8 weeks, right? This used to be the midpoint in the season. Technically, the end of next week's game is the midpoint of the season or whatever. We're basically almost halfway through. You got 5 wins. Looking through the rest of your schedule, you should be close to 10. Should be close to 10 wins. You still got another game versus the Saints. You still got another game versus the Panthers. You got this Dallas team coming up. You got a game versus the Raiders still. Things are really lining up for you to be in a good position, right? If you look at your losses, you got 3 losses. 2 of them are against AFC teams.
Yeah. Only thing is, now I remember you mentioned us having home games. All our losses are at home.
This is true. But let's look into the grander scheme of where everybody's sitting right now, right? So over in the East, you got so keep in mind, we're sitting at 5-3 right now. Over in the East, you got the Commanders at 6-2, Eagles at 5-2, right? In the West, you got the Cardinals, Niners, and Seahawks all sitting at 4-4, and then the Rams sitting at 3-4 with the bye, right? Mm-hmm. Then you got Lions and Packers both with 6 wins, Vikings 5-2 on a 2-game losing streak. They might have hit pumpkin mode, and then the Bears got 4 wins, right? They're sitting at 4-3. Then you got our division top sitting at 5-3. Now, earlier I was like, oh, who might not have to kick outside, right? If you look at who the NFC East winner is going to be, I honestly believe the Eagles are going to catch the Commanders, right? So I think the Eagles are going to win that division, right? We win our division, somebody's got to come to us. So you're kicking inside, right? I think the Eagles win that game. But do I think that they have a better record than the Rams? No, because I think the Rams are going to win the NFC West. They're 3-4 right now.
I don't see
Nobody in that division is above 4-4. They're starting to get healthy.
I don't see it.
That's just to me, right? Because Yeah, we lost to the Seahawks. And yes, they had 3 games in 10. They had 3 games in I think it was 12 days. So like I get it. They stacked up 2 losses real bad, quick. They just lost last week. They got destroyed by the Bills. They're 4-4 right now. I don't think they're that good. The 49ers, they're getting healthy. They're going to be a dangerous team.
We see this every year with the Niners, that they start off slow and then they go on they haven't lost in 2 months. We see this all the time with the Niners.
Yeah, we do. Which is why I'm kind of hedging my bet, but I think the Rams get this division, right? Because I think the Rams are getting healthy, and they're going to be the team this year to be like, oh, they went on a 6-2, 7-1 run. That's just me. That's my thinking there, right?
I bet on the Rams.
I don't think the Cardinals are going to hold up for the division. But so game 1, somebody's got to come to us, right? The Packers were my team at the beginning of the year that was going to win the division, take it all. I had them in the NFC Championship game at minimum. The Lions look like world beaters. They're in a dome. It's just facts. The Lions are in a dome. So somebody's going to come.
That's probably the number 1 seed.
Yeah, Lions are most likely the number 1 seed. The 2nd seed is probably going to be the NFC East winner. And we'll be third seed, and then the NFC West winner will be 4th seed. So somebody's got to come to us. In that second game, we may have to go outside to the NFC East winner, right? So we got to kick outside. We got to kick outside there. If we're the 4th seed, we're going to Detroit, kicking inside, right?
I honestly think, with the way the NFC East looks, I think we can realistically got outside the number 2 seed.
And if we got the number 2 seed, we're kicking inside both games. Somebody's got to come to us twice if we win. You know what I'm saying? And then if the Lions are the number 1 seed, we're kicking inside all the way to the Super Bowl. So like the cool kind of being weird outside doesn't necessarily bother me, just based on how things are stacking up right now. Right now, there are 9 weeks of football left. A lot of things can change. Huh? He only missed. He missed one of his kicks inside. Yeah, he missed one of his kicks inside. But 2 of misses have been outside.
I feel like 2 of them misses came versus the Bucks. Didn't they block one of them?
No, it's just a miss.
I'm pretty sure they blocked it.
Was it a field goal or an extra point?
Field goal or extra point, one of them. But it was a field goal. I'm pretty sure they blocked it.
Okay. And so hey, it might just be a Bucks thing. Either way, I'm not overly worried about Koo, but how things are lining up, I don't think we have an outside shot at the 1 seed. I don't think so.
Detroit playing, I don't see it.
Yeah, because like it's not even
Detroit is not only are they winning the games they're supposed to win, they're winning them convincingly.
Yeah, they curb stomping niggas, bro. Like, hey, this shit looking ugly. Because like it's not just the fact that like they're 6-1. It's the fact that like, yeah, their 1 loss is NFC, but like they've already had their bye. They're beating people ridiculously. We're 5-3 right now. We don't play them this year. They'd have to lose twice. Then it would kind of come into a place that our 2 losses were AFC teams. But they'd have to lose basically 3 more times. And the way they're playing right now, this looks like a 14-3. Maybe 13-14. But yeah, they look like they're cruising to 14-3. And do I think we're gonna win out for the rest of the season? No. So might be playing. I will say, but I mean, before we shut this down, this team does kind of, in a way, kind of give me 2016 vibes. Slick. Like, the offense is cooking. The defense was struggling, but after that bye week, the defense took off. So if we can get to the bye week
in good shape, I think we're gonna see some real progress on the defensive side. Whether it be Raheem taking over the play calling like Dan Quinn did, because remember, that year we had Richard Smith as our defensive coordinator, and he didn't survive the bye week.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a similar situation. So we're, hey, Lake, I love you, but this ain't working out.
So, what do you think our record was in 2016 after 8 games?
Is when the defense took off.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm saying after 8 games in 2016. What do you think our record was?
5-3.
We were 6-2.
Oh, 6-2. Okay.
We were 6-2. So this team is giving us slick. We need and if you look at the scores, kind of like you're saying, part of the defense taking off was the offense taking off, but we had one loss. We had a loss after the bye week, and then they just took off. And that's what you expect out of the Falcons this year. We had a 38-0 loss versus the Panthers. And then we didn't lose again to the Super Bowl. It was good times.
Damn, really?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was 38-0 loss. It was crazy. Beat them again later that season, 33-16. But, all right. So, you guys, appreciate y'all. It came to my attention that y'all haven't been getting pods. That was me. Plays fuck up too. So we got signed, and I didn't know how to work the new software. So y'all gonna get a lot of drops at one point in time. But then we're gonna be super consistent. Appreciate you. if you stayed this long, you heard us. Appreciate you. Thank you for the love and support. You guys always hit us up on socials, BOAF Media, on YouTube, X, Twitter, whatever that is. Instagram, Facebook, all them social media platforms. Follow us, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for all that y'all do. Send us questions, comments, concerns, and we will discuss them in ATL. All right. It's been your boy Q City.
Your boy Ty Bravado.
And we out.
Peace.